Hi, welcome to Putting It on the Wind. I'm Ben Yuzhersky. As you start to move deeper into your recovery and the patterns you've known for years or even decades begin to fall away, you come to understand just how lonely this work can be. But that's the whole point of it. Everything seems to turn a shade of gray. The places you used to go no longer interest you. Friends become distant or disappear altogether. Or maybe you're the one who disappears. You no longer try to hide your feelings behind an obligatory smile or a lifestyle that doesn't quite fit the way it used to. When you do make an effort to be in their presence, most of the people you once considered an essential part of your life now seem little more than acquaintances. They no longer get you, and they tell you that you've changed, that you're sullen, and you're not as much fun as you used to be. If you're feeling lonely, maybe it's because you're finally leaving behind the stories that have held you back. You can't become healthy while remaining sick. You can't change and expect things to stay the same. You can't fully take care of yourself and spend the ever-dwindling minutes of your life pleasing others. And here's the thing. Recovery isn't about making other people happy. It's about throwing yourself into the pursuit of your own healing as deeply as you can, regardless of the opinions of others, so that when you choose to step out into the world, you're able to do so as a more complete, healthier, and far more honest version of yourself. Sometimes that means breaking away from the safety and security of almost everything and everyone you've known, and turning your focus inward in an effort to find the true source of your pain and self-destructive habits. At times, it requires every bit of resources you can muster, and so there's little, if anything, left for the outside world. When I was in my mid-30s, I experienced a moment of insight. It wasn't so much a cognitive thing as it was an intuitive knowing down deep in my bones. I understood, perhaps more clearly than I'd ever understood anything up to that point in my life, that if I didn't leave northeastern Pennsylvania and all that my current existence there entailed, working, drinking, sleeping, rinse and repeat, there was no doubt that sooner or later I would die there. There was an opening in a New Jersey office of the company I was working for at the time. I prayed harder than I'd ever prayed before, that if I were given the opportunity to work there, I'd take it, no matter what. 6 months later, I found myself leaving behind the life I knew in the town I'd lived in for all but 3 of my 35 years, and moving into a thimble-sized apartment in Delran, New Jersey. In many ways, it was an awful place. It was cramped, dark, and drab. The neighborhood was cold and unwelcoming. When I wasn't working or driving back to Northeast PA to visit, I was sitting in my apartment drinking, getting stoned, crying, listening to the blues on a local radio station, and writing reams of poetry. Without a doubt, those were some of the hardest years of my life, but they were also the most necessary and productive, and I was determined to come out the other side of them on my own. I remember one particular Saturday afternoon. I was feeling about as miserable as I'd ever felt. I knew I had to get the hell out of my apartment, just get in the car and drive. I opened my front door and stepped out onto the sidewalk. The sky was gray and the grass was brown and almost completely covered with dying leaves. I took 2 steps and stopped dead in my tracks. There, on the ground just beside the walkway, looking up at me, was the biggest, brightest dandelion I'd ever seen. In that instant, I knew 2 things. 1, that something far greater than myself was looking out for me, and 2, that it had put that dandelion there just for me as a sign that I would get through this. I stepped back inside and scribbled down the following haiku. Who is this smiling friend who comes to say hello among the dead leaves? Tears of gratitude filled my eyes as I wrote it, and I made up my mind that no matter what else happened, I would find one thing each day to be grateful for. After several years of misery and grieving, I was certain that not only had I finally hit bottom, but that I had also gotten back to my feet and was starting the long and arduous climb out of the abyss. For me, this was the real beginning of my recovery. And although this path has led me through some of the most difficult and painful places I've ever been, it has also brought me a deepening sense of purpose and self-awareness, and an unshakable personal relationship with my Creator. It has surrounded me with community, and continues to remove from my life the things which no longer serve it. It demands a lot, and offers back much in return, and it requires an almost constant practice of self-examination and prayer. It's taken friends and family, places and habits, so many of the masks I used to wear, the 9 to 5, the happy hours, the after hours, the parties. All these things are gone now, and gone with love. I could never have done the work I have surrounded by the comfortable maelstrom of my former life. I needed to know firsthand what it was like to venture out into the unknown beyond the safe harbor it provided. I needed to feel the open, lonely freedom of the truth instead of the overcrowded emptiness of the lie. The willingness to do that, and the grace of a higher power that continues to carry the things that I cannot, have made it possible. Thanks for being a part of this. Until next time.